you very much, and thank you very much for inviting us today. Qair is not as known as some of my colleagues here on the panel. We are a renewable energy IPP. We develop, we build, we operate our projects. And over the last 7 years, we've built roughly 1.5 gigawatts of assets that are now in operations. We are entrepreneurs. We try to move fast. And the reason why we are moving fast is because we are strong believers that we need to accelerate the energy transitions. We all know that the energy transition will happen, that's for sure. The only question is how fast. And we feel that we are part of the generation that is responsible for making it fast. If we wait too much, years might mean degrees might mean a completely different life. And that's my first time in Lucia Bay. I've been in Podgorica many times, and when you are enjoying the nature here, you don't want life to change. It's nice, it's not too warm, not too cold, and the Prime Minister emphasized the fact that Montenegro is a very diverse country with mountain in the north, a very sweet climate in the south with bays and etc. And we don't want this to change. I think we would all agree that nobody wants this to change. So at Qair, we want just to accelerate the energy transitions because we feel that, as I said, for sure it's going to be happening, but if we miss years, we will be having additional degrees. And just one figure that strikes me recently, a humankind can live 6 hours at 60 degrees. And 60 degrees will be temperatures that we are going to be enjoying, unfortunately, in the Med, in the summer, quite frequently in the coming years. So I think we have to hurry. And when I came here, I've heard the entire government trying to hurry up. So that's very, very reassuring. We feel that we are in the right place. And in our industry, how could we hurry? We have to make energy affordable. That's the only solution. I've been trying to convince people to buy green energy because it's green, because it's better, because you're going to save planet, etc., etc. I must confess, unfortunately, it doesn't work. When you are trying to sell PPAs and people could accept few more cents, maybe few more euro per megawatt hours, but you say you have to pay 25 more. I mean, the price will be increased by 25%. Nobody's going to be accepting on the long term. So our game is to make energy, renewable energy cheap. And how do you make it cheap? You need to have, first of all, rules. And thank you very much. I've heard today that there are sets of rules that are being enforced, that are being designed, and that's very helpful. When you are investing in an industry, you need to have visibility, and rules is, of course, a key pillar of our industry. Second, grid. It's been said a lot. I won't be insisting on grid, but it's definitely very important. Without the grid, you cannot do anything. And the third point, it's the resources. And here in Montenegro, you have all available resources. Wind, very strong wind. Solar, it's a warm country. And the beauty of renewable energy is how to mix these different resources to try to balance your mix. We are criticized a lot by producing energy, intermittent energy. That's what people say about renewable energy. We say it's beautiful, but whenever I drive in front of a windmill, it doesn't turn, for sure, because a windmill turns usually between, let's say, 25% and 50% of the time to take a broad range. So technically, you have 1 chance out of 2 not to see the windmill turning, and that's a fact. And when you look at the solar farm, of course, it starts producing in the morning and it ends at night. That's normal, and with the peak productions at lunchtime. That's why we need to combine all these different sources of productions. We need to install our assets wherever it makes sense in the country, and Montenegro, luckily, can offer a lot of possibility for wind and solar. We have to add storage as well, and it's been said a lot this morning, but the price of storage has decreased a lot. It's been divided by 10. And now you can really add storage to create base load if you have the proper mix. We need to add intelligence. My colleague insisted a lot on intelligence to be added. And finally, and I forgot a very important point, financing. All this it becomes possible when you get some financing. And how do you get financing? If you have a clear set of rules, if you have the grid, if you have a decent resources, you have a decent price of energy productions, which makes it competitive against any other energy, and financing comes. EBRD is here and other multilateral institutions are here. We are, of course, very grateful of their support. We are hoping that some private banks will be also entering the industry on top of what exists already. But we see a great future of renewable energy in Montenegro because the resources would make renewable energy very competitive in Europe. And Europe being the largest integrated grid in the world, I see Montenegro as becoming an energy export country, for sure. I see Montenegro as becoming a 100% renewable energy country as well, depending on when the coal-fired plant should be decommissioned. But there are jobs associated to this coal-fired plant. We hope that we'll be able to create as many jobs in the renewable energy industry to compensate, and probably within 10 years' time, it should be doable and feasible. So we are extremely optimistic about Montenegro, like the government is, and we are planning to develop capacity here to be consumed locally first and then to be exported at some point in time.